This is an original German Flak 88.
And this was World War II era?
Second World War. It was built by Krupp in Essen, Germany. And that was the mainstay of German artillery during the Second World War.
So they use these a lot?
Extensively, yes. Extensively.
So do you shoot this?
Absolutely. Every chance we get. Yeah, it is a live gun. It is the only registered, transferable, live German 88 in the United States.
And how did you get a hold of this?
Long story, but just being in the right place at the right time. It was brought over apparently in 1946 by an officer in the 9th SS who immigrated to the U.S. and brought a number of items with him. So it was, it's been stored since '46 and taken very good care of.
How much does this cost?
It's like a fishing boat. You don't ask what the fish cost. So it's just, you know, it's just one of those things that I've just thoroughly enjoyed working with it and learning about it and being able to fire it.
So you take this to various reenactments and different things?
I really don't. We're from Tennessee. This is the first time it's actually been out in public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got our own firing range down outside Knoxville, and so we really play with it down there, and we live fire it down there.
So why did you decide this was the place to take it? To make its public debut?
I have a lot of friends that are reenactors, and they convinced me to bring it up here to Conneaut. It'd be a great environment. The organizers were great. And they said it would really be a great addition to the show. And I watched the website for Conneaut and how they treat veterans, and I just love to pitch in and help. So we brought it up here on 18-wheeler, and here we are. So really enjoying it, and have enjoyed meeting the veterans and everybody here.
Who you with? You're not with Chad, are you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. All right. So you got a 30 cal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Division headquarters.
Can I get a camera?
First Division headquarters here. I'm the first lieutenant. This is the captain. He's the XO, and we're under Major Chad Bonavenzi. We're here to basically get everybody in line to get on our boats tomorrow. So I'm trying to coordinate who's on what boat, at what time, and what wave we're attacking the beach.
So do you use the typewriter over
Yes,
there?
I do. Sometimes, yeah, most of the time I will, but today I'm not, just because it was damp. But that's my field desk. My typewriter's here. My stamps that I use to inspect troops and stamp their cards, different inspections. So this is what they would have. This fits right in there. It's a field desk.
Who's the girl?
That's Betty Grable.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Betty Grable.
How long have you been
Reenacting?
reenacting?
30-some years.
Really?
Yeah, I did Civil War for 25. I've been doing about 20, 25, and I've been doing this for almost 10.
So why'd you switch from the Civil War?
Better toys. Better toys. It's different, you know. You get tired of doing different time periods. You've tried different, and this one's nice. It's more modern. Sleep on a cot instead of the ground. I'm getting older. You know, my days of sleeping on the ground are pretty much by me. You know, you can ride in a Jeep. You don't have to march everywhere. Stuff like that. Better food. You're not cooking everyone on fire in the middle of August.
Okay, I portray a World War II Red Cross volunteer. In World War II, the Red Cross had a number of different functions. They certainly had some medical functions, and certainly many of the women were nurses. But by World War II, the Army and the Navy were also taking nurses in. And so if you were a nurse at that point, you more likely went into the Army or the Navy. You got paid more money, and it was just a better career path. So what the Red Cross's job became during World War II war was to keep up the morale of the troops. And what I portray is a volunteer, somebody who would be maybe in a hospital, something like a candy striper that they used to have. So I wouldn't be necessarily traditionally medical trained, but I would have been trained by the nurses and the doctors on how to go around and help change things and give medications and things that a non-medical professional could do. The other thing that we did was we set up canteens in London and also in France once France became liberated. And because during World War II, a major issue was troop morale. And a lot of these guys, they went over to fight, and they had never literally been out of a 10-mile square radius of where they grew up. And so all of a sudden they're in a different country, people speak funny or they're speaking a foreign language, and they get very homesick. So what the Red Cross did was they set up these canteens where the guys could come in on their R&R. They could come into the canteens, and in the canteens, what the Red Cross volunteers would do with them is they would do things like play cards with them. If there was an area for recreation, they might play badminton, they might, play basketball, whatever they had. The girls were trained in this. The other thing that they did was they could record messages to the family's home. They might look like old 45s, and they're really not. They have 2 holes in them. So they would come into the canteen and they would record a message on this, and the Red Cross would send it off to their parents, to their sweetheart, to whoever. So that person would actually be able to hear their voice. You got to remember, you couldn't make overseas calls at that point. The only news most people were getting was they had to go to the theater and see the reels, and they were so far behind what was actually happening over there. This was like a lifeline to many families to know that their sons were alive over there. The other thing so to be a Red Cross volunteer in World War II, first of all, you had to be college educated, which was a huge deal for a woman back then. You had to go through an extensive interview process. What they were looking for was not the prettiest girl in the bunch. They were looking for the girl with the personality, the girl who could talk to the guys, who could feel comfortable, who could handle herself around them. Because what they did was they shipped them out to these canteens. There was also a branch of the Red Cross that were called the Club Car Girls, and they took old charter buses in England and in France, and they converted them so that they could make donuts and coffee, and they would drive very close to where the fighting was, and the guys would come up and they would serve them donuts and coffee and have, a smile, and to them it was like the girl next door. It gave them a reason why they were fighting this war. It kept up their morale. So that's basically what the Red Cross had to do during World War II. It was a huge undertaking. Whereas during World War I, the Red Cross was really all medical because they didn't have the nurses in the Army back then. They didn't have the waves back then. But once those 2 units got established in World War II, the Red Cross became more volunteer, more socials to help the guys really get through what they were seeing out there.